When you walk into a room, people form opinions about you in seconds, not because of your clothes, money, or job title, but because of your habits. Class isn't something you buy, it's something you quietly show through the way you carry yourself, speak, and treat others. Today, we're diving into the 7 habits that make you instantly classy. These are the little things that speak volumes, the subtle behaviors that make people think, there's something different about that person. Let's break it down. The first habit of classy people is composure, and it's one of the strongest signs of inner strength and self-respect. Composure means keeping your emotions steady, your reactions measured, and your words intentional, especially when situations are tense or uncertain. It's easy to appear calm when everything is going your way, but composure truly shows itself when things start to fall apart. When someone speaks to you rudely, when plans get delayed, or when life throws unexpected challenges your way, that's when your poise becomes your greatest asset. People who carry composure understand that reacting emotionally gives away control. They know that anger, defensiveness, or panic only cloud judgment and make them appear unstable. So instead of rushing to respond, they pause, they breathe, they think. This doesn't mean they suppress emotion. It means they direct it. They don't let feelings drive decisions. They use logic, patience, and empathy to navigate situations with strength and dignity. Composure isn't about being emotionless. It's about being emotionally intelligent enough to not let chaos dictate your behavior. When others lose control, the person who stays calm instantly stands out. They become the anchor in the room, the person others trust and gravitate toward. That's the quiet power of composure. It commands respect without a single word being spoken. Maintaining composure also reflects a deep sense of confidence. When you trust yourself enough to stay calm, you show others that you are not easily shaken. Classy people understand that not everything deserves a reaction. They choose their battles wisely and refuse to be dragged into unnecessary drama. They understand that the loudest person in the room rarely holds the most power. It's the one who listens, observes, and responds with intention. They don't allow negativity to set the tone for their energy. Even when provoked, they protect their peace because they know composure is not weakness, it's discipline. It's the awareness that how you handle discomfort says more about you than how you handle success. A composed person doesn't let insults pierce their confidence or let disappointment steal their focus. They keep their head clear and their emotions balanced, which allows them to make better choices and maintain self-respect no matter the circumstance. Another layer of composure lies in patience. Classy people aren't in a rush to prove themselves or win every argument. They let time reveal truth and let results speak louder than reactions. They have learned that silence can be more powerful than confrontation. They can listen without interrupting and respond without resentment. Their calm nature diffuses tension, creates trust, and shifts the tone of conversations. They don't mirror chaos. They neutralize it. That's what gives them presence. People feel safe around those who stay grounded because composure creates a sense of stability that is rare in a world driven by impulsive emotions. Every time you stay composed, you show that your emotions serve you, not control you. You show maturity, discipline, and confidence that doesn't need validation. Composure transforms ordinary interactions into moments of quiet strength and makes others see you as someone who carries themselves with true grace and control. The second habit that defines truly classy people is attention to detail, and it goes far beyond appearance or surface-level presentation. It's about awareness, intentionality, and the ability to create value in small moments. Classy people understand that details are what separate ordinary from extraordinary. They don't rush through life carelessly. They pay attention to the little things that others often overlook. It's the way they remember someone's name after a brief conversation, how they notice when someone feels left out, or how they take time to genuinely listen instead of waiting for their turn to speak. They observe the world around them with care, and that awareness allows them to move with purpose. Attention to detail reflects respect. It tells people that you value their presence enough to notice what matters to them. It's not about perfectionism, it's about mindfulness. Classy people don't just show up. They show up with intention, fully aware of their surroundings, tone, and timing. Their presence feels effortless because it's grounded in awareness. When it comes to personal presentation, attention to detail isn't about being flashy or overly polished. It's about consistency and refinement in small choices. A well-fitted outfit, clean shoes, a firm handshake, and good posture. These little signals communicate confidence without needing words. But more importantly, their attention to detail extends to how they treat others. They follow up after a meeting, express gratitude sincerely, and give compliments that show observation, not flattery. They notice when someone has put in effort and make sure to acknowledge it. This kind of attentiveness creates warmth, trust, and a quiet sense of respect. People remember those who make them feel seen, and that's exactly what classy individuals do. They aren't just aware of themselves, they are aware of others, which makes every interaction meaningful. Attention to detail also shows up in how classy people manage their environment and commitments. They don't overpromise or forget small responsibilities. They arrive on time, respect schedules, and prepare for conversations instead of winging it. These habits build reliability and credibility, which are core to being seen as classy. They take pride in doing things well, not because they seek praise, but because excellence is part of who they are. Whether it's writing an email, setting a table, or having a discussion, they put effort into doing it thoughtfully. That quiet effort becomes a reflection of their character. Classy people understand that the little things are never little. They're the foundation of trust and respect. Even in conversation, attention to detail changes everything. They don't interrupt, they make eye contact, and they match their tone to the situation. They know when to speak and when to stay silent, when to encourage and when to simply listen. They can sense the energy of a room and adapt gracefully. This emotional awareness, paired with observational skill, makes their presence feel composed and considerate. They move through life as if every action, gesture, and word has meaning, because to them it does. Their careful attention creates harmony, not noise. It shows discipline, awareness, and a sense of pride in how they show up. People may not always notice every detail they master, but they always feel the difference when someone moves through the world with that level of care and consciousness. The third habit that instantly makes someone classy is speaking with purpose, and this goes much deeper than simply choosing polite words. Speaking with purpose means understanding the weight of your words and using them in a way that builds, not breaks. Classy people are intentional communicators. They think before they speak and understand that tone, timing, and delivery matter just as much as the message itself. They don't rush into conversations looking to dominate or prove a point. Instead, they speak with calmness, clarity, and confidence. When they talk, they don't just fill silence, they add value. They avoid unnecessary chatter, gossip, or negativity because they understand that every word spoken reflects their mindset and self-control. Their language is never harsh or dismissive. It's measured, thoughtful, and respectful, even in disagreement. They know that how you say something often matters more than what you say, and their ability to maintain composure in speech sets them apart from those who let emotion lead their words. Speaking with purpose also means being a good listener. Classy people don't talk over others to be heard. They listen to understand. They make others feel acknowledged, not dismissed. When they respond, it's with intention and empathy, showing that they value the other person's thoughts and emotions. Their words carry sincerity because they're rooted in awareness, not ego. They don't use language to impress. They use it to connect. You can tell a lot about someone by how they speak to people who can't offer them anything in return. Classy people maintain the same respectful tone with everyone, whether it's a colleague, a stranger, or a waiter. Their consistency and kindness reveals the depth of their character. They also understand the importance of restraint in speech. Not every opinion needs to be shared, and not every argument needs to be won. Classy individuals choose silence over unnecessary confrontation and grace over judgment. They never speak out of spite or anger because they know words spoken in haste often leave lasting scars. Their power lies in knowing when to pause, when to speak, and when to let silence do the talking. Silence, when used wisely, speaks louder than words. It shows control, maturity, and wisdom. Speaking with purpose isn't about saying a lot. It's about saying what matters. Their speech inspires calm, not chaos. It uplifts rather than criticizes. Even in casual conversations, classy people bring presence and thoughtfulness. They express gratitude easily, give genuine compliments, and use humor that never offends. Their language reflects kindness and depth. When they express disagreement, they do so respectfully without making others feel small. Their communication builds bridges instead of walls. The way they speak leaves a lasting impression because people can sense the authenticity behind every word. Speaking with purpose is one of the most magnetic traits a person can have because it demonstrates intelligence, empathy, and integrity all at once. It shows that you don't just talk, you communicate with awareness, and that quiet intention makes every word resonate with respect and grace. The fourth habit that makes someone instantly classy is confidence through humility, a balance that very few people master, but everyone recognizes when they see it. It's the kind of confidence that doesn't need to announce itself because it speaks through presence, actions, and energy. Classy people don't walk into a room trying to prove their worth. They already know it. Their confidence comes from self-awareness, not arrogance. They understand their strengths, but remain open to learning, listening, and growing. This quiet self-assurance allows them to move through life with calm authority rather than loud dominance. They don't compete for attention or validation because they're comfortable in their own skin. Humility keeps their confidence grounded, and that combination makes them magnetic. People naturally gravitate toward those who exude certainty without ego, who make others feel seen and valued instead of inferior. Confidence through humility also shows in how they treat others. Classy people don't use their success to make others feel small. They celebrate others' wins as easily as their own, understanding that someone else's shine doesn't dim their light. They listen when others speak, they show appreciation without flattery, and they don't need to be the smartest person in the room. Their self-worth isn't threatened by others' strengths. This mindset makes them approachable and respected at the same time. They have a quiet confidence that says they're sure of themselves but don't need to broadcast it. Their humility earns admiration because it shows strength under control, a strength that doesn't need to dominate to feel powerful. In conversation, confidence through humility is evident in their tone and choice of words. They speak clearly and assertively, but never with arrogance or condescension. They don't interrupt to prove a point or correct people just to seem smarter. Instead, they let their calmness carry authority. They admit when they're wrong, which makes their honesty more impactful. They share knowledge without making others feel uninformed, and they give advice with care instead of superiority. This kind of communication leaves people feeling respected, not diminished. When they share their experiences or successes, it's never for validation. It's to inspire or encourage. Their humility adds depth to their confidence because it shows that they've learned from both victories and failures, and they carry both with grace. Confidence through humility is also visible in their body language. They maintain eye contact, stand tall, and move with purpose, but without stiffness or intimidation. There's an ease in their presence because they're not trying to be anyone else. Their authenticity speaks louder than any performance ever could. They don't chase approval, yet people naturally admire them because they project assurance without ego. Humility keeps their power gentle, while confidence keeps it firm. It's a quiet balance that creates respect, trust, and admiration all at once. They don't need to say they're confident. You can feel it in the way they treat people, in the calm way they handle challenges, and in the grace they show during both success and failure. This blend of inner strength and genuine modesty is what gives them timeless class, the kind that doesn't fade because it's rooted in character rather than appearance. The fifth habit that instantly makes someone classy is emotional awareness, the ability to understand, manage, and respond to emotions, both yours and others, with balance and maturity. Classy people possess a quiet sensitivity to the energy around them. They can read the mood of a room, sense tension before words are even spoken, and adjust their tone and behavior accordingly. This awareness doesn't make them overly cautious, it makes them intentional. They know when to speak and when silence is more powerful, when someone needs encouragement or simply space. Emotional awareness allows them to navigate complex situations gracefully because they understand that not every reaction needs to be expressed and not every emotion deserves an audience. They don't let frustration or insecurity guide their behavior. Instead, they regulate their emotions so that their presence feels stable, calm, and grounded. This steadiness makes people feel safe around them because they know that no matter what happens, the classy person won't lose control or make things worse with impulsive reactions. Emotionally aware people also have empathy, which is the heart of class. They don't just listen to respond, they listen to understand. They notice when someone is uncomfortable, even when that person doesn't say it out loud. They treat everyone with respect because they realize that everyone is fighting battles that can't be seen. They choose compassion over judgment and patience over irritation. When conflict arises, they respond thoughtfully instead of defensively. They don't seek to win arguments, they seek to understand perspectives. This emotional maturity turns potential tension into opportunities for connection. Classy individuals know that real strength lies in maintaining kindness when it's difficult, and that empathy is never a sign of weakness, but of emotional intelligence. Another part of emotional awareness is knowing yourself deeply. Classy people understand their triggers, their limits, and their values. They take responsibility for their emotions rather than projecting them onto others. They don't blame or lash out when things go wrong because they've learned how to pause and reflect before reacting. That self-awareness helps them communicate more effectively, express feelings without drama, and maintain boundaries without aggression. They can admit when they're wrong, apologize sincerely, and forgive without holding grudges. Their maturity in handling emotions builds trust because people know that they are consistent and dependable. They don't shift moods unpredictably or let small irritations control their interactions. Their calm is not forced. It's the result of understanding themselves and respecting others. Emotional awareness also enhances how classy people lead and influence. They motivate others not through fear or dominance, but through empathy and respect. Their awareness allows them to make people feel valued and understood, which naturally inspires loyalty and cooperation. They don't use emotions to manipulate, they use them to connect. Their balanced emotional energy makes them the steady voice during chaos, the listener in conflict, and the comfort in discomfort. They understand that how they make others feel will always be remembered longer than what they say. That's why they choose grace over reaction, empathy over pride, and understanding over judgment in every situation. Their emotional awareness gives them quiet authority, one that earns admiration not by force, but by presence. And that presence radiates a kind of calm strength that defines what it truly means to be classy.